Bonjour, bonjour, and today is number 46 of travels around my bedroom, and I am looking very French because we are staying in France. The summer holidays are coming, and France is actually the number one travel destination in the world. So I thought I'd do a mini-series this week on France and how France is so diverse and how we differ. So I'm going to speak to you about several regions in France. Today we're going to start with Brittany and my region, which is called the Touraine. So Brittany is very well known for something which is called, well, it's coast, obviously, because it's by the sea. Now, the problem with Brittany is that you really always take a risk when you go there because the weather is not always that nice, It's near the UK, so it rains and it's cold, but it's very dramatic and very, very beautiful. So one of the most iconic tourist destination in Brittany is something which is called, a place which is called Mont Saint-Michel. And when you have the tides, then you can't, well, now they've built a bridge. So you can always drive, to Mont Saint-Michel, but it's an amazing site. It's actually the number one tourist destination for the French. So what I really wanted to speak about is how the French regions really differ. They are about very different things because we don't really wear the same clothes when you go from one destination to another. So I am now wearing a typical stripy Breton shirt, which is not really something that you would wear in my region at all. And you can't really be a Breton if you don't own one of those, which is, take them out, it's called a ciré, which in fact is like a raincoat. Yeah, I actually have this one from when I was a girl's guide. But yeah, and you can get it, at the moment yellow is more fashionable. I've got one in yellow as well. But, they're seamen, yes, the Bretons. And so one thing that makes the Bretons, hold on. And, am I going to talk to you about that now? No. So one thing that makes a Breton really different is that if you're not from Brittany and you're French, you can spot a Breton in the street immediately because of the way that they are dressed. So they always wear blue trousers or white t-shirt or a stripy top. They have these dark blue, beautiful jumpers with little, what are they called? Buttons on the side. And they, of course, they wear, these, blue shoes, these kind of sailing shoes. So, and there is just a look, and they're kind of darker with their hair. Where you kind of you're in the street I can spot a Breton. Or a Breton, by the way. So the great thing, so one of the things that really also differ the French from region to region is their folk attire. Yes? So this is a typical man and woman from Brittany. I mean, obviously, no one is walking through the streets like this. But if you have a festival, this is what they're going to wear. And the particularity of it is if you see that hat, it's a high hat with lace coming on each side. And one of the most well-known, I would say, Breton woman in France is her. And she's called Bécassine. So she's a main character from a comic. There was a film as well done on her. She's great for the kids. The French are completely nuts about comics. We share that with the Belgians. and she goes on little adventures, and you can discover Brittany through her. She's really, really typical. One thing that the Bretons are also very well known for, and that's another difference that you will see remarkably in France, is the character. So where you go from one place to another, you have very specific characters. And the Bretons are very well known for being incredibly stubborn. We always say in French, stubborn as a Breton. Actually, my parents were a little bit less nice. They said, they told me, oh no, you say stubborn like a spaniel, like a Breton spaniel, which is a dog. So I mean, we have Breton spaniel at home. We've had them all my life. So it's nothing against the Bretons, but that's what they are well known for. And one more thing, in France, really what differentiates one region from the other is what we eat. We define ourselves according to the food that we put in our lovely stomachs. And something that's superbly important for us is this concept of terroir. So terre means the earth, and terroir means everything that comes from the earth, from the soil. Yes, actually it's more soil that you were grown upon. And that means that it defines you. So I will define myself through what I eat, which will differentiate me from a Breton. So Breton eat a lot of much more butter or crème fraîche, for example, than people from my region. And one thing they're very well known for are these, les galettes bretonnes, which are like, I don't know, like if you're in the States, you would think they're cookies, but they don't have little, chocolate chips in them. So it's made with butter. And this particular one actually is from a woman called la mère Poulard, the mother Poulard, and Poulard comes from chicken, poule. And she's very, very well known because la mère Poulard used to have a restaurant. She opened the first restaurant on Mont Saint-Michel, and she's incredibly well known for her omelets. She made the best omelets in the world, and that restaurant is still there on the Mont Saint-Michel. So just to make sure, actually, there is a little bit of a controversial thing about where is Mont Saint-Michel. Is it in Normandy or is it in Brittany? It's kind of a little bit in both. So that's why. But maybe later I'll do one on Normandy because there's so much to say about Normandy. So here we are done with Brittany. I can see it's 8 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll do another one, which I will post a little bit later on my region, which is called the Touraine. But before I leave you, when I was thinking about the character of the Breton and the fact that they are stubborn, I thought, I am a stubborn woman. But stubbornness is often seen as something that is wrong. And I think, no, I think it means that you just know what you want. So would you share with me something that you feel very convinced about or that you are very stubborn about? And before I leave, one more massive particularity of the Breton is that they have different names from the rest of France. Because of their connection, they're Gaelic. So because of their connection to the UK or to Wales or to Ireland, they have a different language. And it's a proper language. And when you go there, like in Wales, you will see that they have the names written in Breton. And they have first names or last names that are also very different. So, for example, things like Erwan, Titouan, Zoïsic, Gaël, Loïc, and for surname, Le Garec or Le Billan, Kerouac, or Keradec. So everyone knows Jack Kerouac. Well, his name is Breton. So there you are. Thank you very much. And tomorrow I will indulge you into where I come from with things, personal things that I've inherited from my great grandmother. And I'll be showing you some food as well. Bye. Have a lovely day.